My God, I hate drugs.
Malacanang says President Rodrigo Duterte's controversial kissing of an OFW in South Korea cannot overshadow the billions of pesos worth of investments in foreign aid to be brought home by the delegation. The MMDA warns of heavier traffic as more schools resume classes within the month. President Duterte will come home from South Korea with almost 5 billion pesos in investments and $1 billion in official development assistance. Speaking to our chief correspondent, Pia Antiveros, presidential spokesperson Halik explains what these deals cover and why a controversial kiss involving the president and an OFW won't overshadow these agreements.
Well, there were at least 4 agreements signed, but the cumulative total investments to be brought home is 4.9 billion, and overseas development assistance is 1 billion double, no? Which will go and assist the country in infrastructure such as roads and bridges. No? And this also in addition to the fact that Korea is home to 93,000 of our Filipinos, and it's now the biggest source of tourism revenues. No? So I think those kinds of achievements will be very difficult to ignore.
You said roads, etc. Are you talking about the government's Build program? Korean firms are going to be part of this?
Yes.
Can you tell us which ones? Can you give details?
Yes, well, the ODA is actually Overseas Development Assistance. This is not intended to be repaid, and that's going to be $1 billion worth. And they're also keen on investing in the third telecoms, as well as further cooperation in science and technology, as well as agriculture, among others. There's 4.9 billion in worth of investments and thousands of new jobs, and $1 billion in ODA. That possibly can't overshadow the harvest of the president of this trip.
Malacanang described President Rodrigo Duterte's kissing of an OFW in South Korea as a light moment. Speaking to CNN Philippines presidential spokesman Halik said the playful act is accepted in Filipino culture.
Obviously, there is no offended party here. The lady who was kissed has clearly expressed the view that she was honored with a kiss. And of course, we have our traditional critics, and it's the same critics who are going to town against what happened. But I believe that an overwhelming majority of the Filipinos continue to support the president and found the kiss a light moment, no, that is very accepted in the culture of Filipinos.
Photos and videos of the president kissing the Filipina on the lips have gone viral as the president's actions draw mixed reactions. Here's that video.
Sabay tayo para mag-graphic.
The woman in the video is identified as Bea Kim. In a video released on Facebook by the government-run Philippine News Agency, Kim recounts the events that led to the kiss. CNN Philippines has put subtitles on a portion of that video where the voice of the interviewer cannot be clearly heard.
Nga pala si Bea Kim, 7 years na akong nakatira dito. Meron akong asawang Koreano and 2 kids, 2 daughters. Hindi, nasa may unahan siya tapos nandito ako sa gitna. So pumunta lang ako doon nung sinabi kasi ni President na yung naka-white. Tapos lumingon muna ako doon sa mga nasa tabi ko, likod ko kung meron ibang naka-white. So wala naman. Kaya ayun na, tumayo na talaga ako. Parang nabiyak ako. Hindi ko ma-explain yung parang kinakabahan ako, natatakot ako, excited, thankful. Happy ako kasi parang it's a once in a lifetime experience kasi yun, di ba? Kahit nasa Pilipinas ka, parang suntok sa buwan na makita mo ng malapitan talaga yung president. Totoo yun, totoo yun.
Kayo magpapatunay na walang ganda sa'yo?
Wala.
Unahan na natin.
Oo, wala. Walang mali siya yun. Si president nagsabi na, tinanong niya ako kung single ka ba o married. Sinabi ko, married po ako sa Koreano. Meron po akong 2 anak. Tapos yun, parang ginawa lang namin ng yung kiss, parang twist lang yung pampakulig sa mga audience. Walang ibig sabihin yun. Promise, walang ibig sabihin.
The Metro Manila Development Authority says yesterday's opening of classes in public schools and some private schools had minimal impact on traffic in major roads. But it might be a different story come June 18 when more classes resume. Our George Cahiles has that story.
The traffic situation in Metro Manila last weekend is just a preview of what can be expected in the next few weeks with the opening of classes in both public and private schools.
Pagka-weekends, meron tayong mga reblocking, ginagawa yan, no? Nag-start yan ng 11 p.m. ng Friday, natatapos ng 5 a.m. ng Monday. And then, pangalawa, alam naman natin yung last minute shopping ng mga tao sa pagpasok ng eskwela. Kung mapapansin natin, mga malls natin kapon, punong-puno, dahil mga namibili ng mga school supplies, saka mga kagamitan para sa school ng mga bata.
When students were on vacation the last 2 months, the number of vehicles on EDSA dropped by 20%. But beginning June 18, some 425,000 vehicles will be back on Metro Manila's main artery.
Magbubukas na ho ng klase yung mga prestigious university schools. Alam niyo naman po ang mga ganong klase ng paaralan, isang estudyante, isang sasakyan, para naman ho sa may mga security issues, nasa isang bata, 2-3 sasakyan. Yun ho yung volume ng mga sasakyan na dadagdag at mas bibigat po yun.
For now, commuters and motorists still have it easy on the road, as the start of classes in public schools seem to have a minimal impact on traffic. But commuters are bracing themselves for heavy traffic when private schools open too. Already, they are thinking of ways of coping with what can be a nightmare.
Nagbabasa ko, sir, taste lang, agahan na lang ng alis ng bahay. Ganun din sa pag-uwi. Iwas mo na ng last hour, magpapagabi muna ako bago ako uwi. Para iwas inip.
Siyempre nakakapagod din. Kasi yung oras na parang ipapahinga mo pa, kailangan mo nang ibiyahin ng mas maaga.
For now, the safety of school children is a major concern. The MMDA has helped some 40 schools repaint pedestrian lanes and signages to help students crossing the streets. There are also police officers manning help desks to provide help until school activities normalize. George Hiles, CNN Philippines.
Good morning. It's already 6:09. We have more news on the road. It's time to check traffic from our Manila and Skyway cameras. First, we go to Taft and Quirino Avenues. This is in Manila. Now, if you are headed to Makati or Pasay City, the lanes on the left side is still clear from heavy traffic. On the opposite side is northbound to the Manila Science and Arroyo High Schools. Traffic there is also light, aside from the occasional stops at the intersection. Just a reminder, drive with care due to the wet roads this morning. Now taking you down south, this is the Alabang main line from the Skyway. And if you are traveling back to Metro Manila, better hurry at this time, as we can see, yikes, vehicles are starting to build up at the toll gates. Prepare for some delays to your drive or commute this morning. Now for some sports action, make it 2-0 now for the Golden State Warriors. The defending champs defeat the Cleveland Cavaliers in Game 2 of the NBA Finals. Here at home, looks like things are finally clicking for Gilas 2023. The Cadets roll to their 3rd victory in the Philoil Flying V Preseason Cup, thanks to some new faces. And in tennis, a stunning withdrawal from the French Open. Serena Williams pulls out of the tournament ahead of her supposed rematch against arch-rival Maria Sharapova. More on these sports stories later on in the program. But first, let's check on our global headlines. Christine, what do you have?
Well, Andre, a check on our global headlines. The death toll from Guatemala's Fuego volcano eruption keeps rising, and now more hazards threaten grieving residents. At least 62 people are dead, and nearly 2 million are affected. The eruptions lasted nearly 17 hours on Sunday. They have stopped for now, but authorities warn more eruptions are possible. Evacuations and rescue efforts are still underway. More than 3,000 people have been forced from their homes. Guatemala's President Jimmy Morales has declared 3 days of national mourning. The flurry of international diplomacy continues for North Korean leader Kim Jong-un as he receives an official invitation from the Kremlin to visit Russia. Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov said Monday that Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov extended the invitation when he traveled to Pyongyang last week. The Eastern Economic Forum to be held in September was proposed as a possible option for Kim Jong-un's visit.